Hello, dear friends. Some of you know me, some of you don't. For the ones who don't know me, I am Carmen Badan, and I am a real estate broker. And as I like to say, I am morphing into a butterfly. I have been sitting with my pain. I have been sitting with my suffering for a while, maybe too long. Let me rephrase that. I have been hiding in my pain for too long. One of the reasons why it may seem like I'm enjoying the struggle is because I learned that your power, your source, your purpose is in your pain. If you sit with your pain, if you sit with your suffering, if you're analyzing, if you let it take you down, if you let it take you to your rock bottom, number one, you have nowhere to go but up from there. Number two, you actually will be able to ascertain, you will be able to draw out of your pain your purpose in life. I've been able to do that, but I believe that there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to an existential crisis, let's say, to a spiritual awakening, as they like to call it in a fancy way. There's a lot more to it than just finding your purpose. Because as you sit with your pain, as you sit with your suffering, you find out who you truly are, who your true, authentic self is. What did my pain do for me? In addition to helping me find my purpose, it helped me find myself. It opened up the immense opportunities that exist out there for me to choose from and decide how I can be 110% true to my authentic being, to my authentic soul. I recently had a conversation with a friend, and it was a political conversation. I personally don't like to get into politics. Number one, because I don't believe that I know enough, and I'm not interested in delving into that realm. I believe there's enough people out there who are dedicating their life, their activism to it. It's not me. It's not my purpose. It's not my life. So every time a political conversation popped up, I chose to just nod and say, okay, well, I can understand your opinion, and not really say anything. But this friend sort of got mad with me and said, you know, Carmen, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So it triggered something in me. It made me see that I actually do stand for certain things, even when it comes to politics. I rebutted. I stood up for myself, and I shared my opinion of the world, my opinion, my way, the way I feel about the world, the way I feel about everything that is going on around us, and how I can impact, or how we can all impact raising the world's consciousness just by simply showing up in our lives. So I told my friend exactly what I felt. And it's irrelevant in this video, so I don't really need to get into it. But the one thing that I drew out of that conversation was also one very insightful thing, deep thing about myself. What I learned about myself is that sometimes I lie, just like we all do. I'm sure you are doing it too. We don't tell the truth to the person we talk to. We don't give them our full opinion because we are afraid. Most of the time, we say, if you are going to be asked, why are you not telling that person the truth? And the truth can be anything from, is that dress making me look fat? Or have I behaved properly in this situation? Or have I said the right things? Or have I acted in the right way? And women in general, we're so motherly, we're so caring, and all we want is to make the other person feel good. But what we don't realize is that we give them a disservice. We allow them to continue in a pattern that may not necessarily be into their service. Hi, Shamali. Thank you for joining me. So I realized something very, very deep. While we lie to people because we feel that we want to protect them, we want them to feel good, what we're actually doing is we don't want to upset the apple cart. We don't want to rattle anyone's cage. We want to be the nice person. We want to be liked. We want to fit in, right? It's our ancestral DNA, the survival DNA that tells us don't piss anyone off. Don't get kicked out of the tribe, because if you get kicked out of the tribe, you will get eaten alive by wild beasts. What we don't realize in today's world, that there are no wild beasts, and yet we still fear being kicked out of the tribe. What we also don't realize, that if we get kicked out, that may not be our tribe. So if anyone shows up in our life with a statement, with a behavior, with a pattern that is not congruent with our own beliefs, it is not congruent with our own reality, with our own truth, instead of telling them the truth, we shy away. We also justify it by saying that we're trying to protect them. And this is actually not the truth. This is the rude awakening for me. And I'm sharing this with you because I am hoping that it may help you see this perspective and maybe shift something within yourself. The reason why we don't tell people the truth is not because we want to protect them. Intrinsically, we're not telling people the truth because we are afraid of how they will react. We are afraid of that conversation that may be very, very difficult, of that interaction that may be painful to both of us if we were to tell the truth. We're not doing it for them. We're doing it for us. It's our ego kicking in once again, even though we feel like we're altruistic and we're loving and we're compassionate and we're trying to help this person get through. But that's not why we do it. We do it because we don't want to face the demon. We don't want to face the dragon. We don't want to have to slay the dragon when it shows up. It's all about us. It's our ego coming through, conducting us throughout everything we do in life. Where in your life do you see this happening? Have you ever had this happen? Have you ever been put in a situation where you had to tell a white lie, as we like to call it, just because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings? Have you done it? Have you felt like, I had to say that, but it's not really what I mean. What I would really love to say is, listen, honey, you really need to lose some weight. That dress doesn't fit you. That behavior is ridiculous. You said that, and of course he got pissed off, and maybe you should change something. We want to say these things, but we feel that it's not our place, it's not our right. We're asked, but we don't tell the truth because we're afraid of how they're going to react. We're afraid that if we stand up in our 110% truth, we're going to be pushed out of the tribe. Now, what I learned in my almost 6 months of existential crisis, or maybe even longer, what I learned is that the most important thing in life is to be yourself, to be your true self, and inspire others to do the same. And how are you your true self? How can you be your true self? And I'm going to offer you an exercise. Think of the people in your life, whether it's family, friends, relatives, significant others, colleagues, people who hold you back, people who, under the pretense that they love you and they look after you and they take care of you and they care about you, they stop you from following your dreams. They stop you from continuing your path, to follow your purpose. They stop you, they put doubt inside of your mind, and you allow them. And every time you want to take a step that may be courageous, that may be bold, that may be inspiring to others, that may be vulnerable to others, you stop yourself because you don't want to disappoint them, because you fear their criticism, because you fear their judgment. You don't want to let them down. What do you do instead? You let yourself down. So here's your exercise for today. Who would you be? Ask yourself this question. Who would you be every day if there was no one to judge you, no one to criticize you, and no one to have any expectations of you? Who would you be? Make a list of these people who are holding you back. Love them. Forgive them. And eliminate them from your actions. Eliminate their thoughts, their beliefs, their actions, their words from your actions, from your mission in life. And then be that person. We all go through hardship. We all go through pain and suffering. We all go through I like to call them ruts in life. Those are the moments when we grow. We show up one step ahead from who we were yesterday. And I'm going to give you an analogy. A lobster grows inside its shell. And then when the shell doesn't grow, the lobster does inside the shell. And when the shell is too tight for the lobster sheds its shell. And then it remains vulnerable. It's painful. What does he do? Instinctively, the lobster will crawl under a rock and will sit there, protected, vulnerable but protected, until it grows a new, larger shell. And that's what we all do in life. We grow a new shell. We grow a new carcass, a new protection, based on our new belief, based on our new growth pattern. Because we're meant to grow. If you don't grow, you die. So this is my little exercise for you today. If you don't stand for something, then you will fall for anything. Look within yourself. Find out, what do you stand for? What do you strongly believe in? Whether it's personal, whether it has to do with the world, evolution, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, tattoo them in your DNA. Make them your purpose in life. Stand for them. And show up with 110% honesty. 110% truth. Because who you are and who you are becoming is a gift to the world. Your job is not to change people. Your job is to show up as yourself. And when you do that, you will inspire others to do the same. You will shine a light on everyone you meet. And you will heal everyone you touch. Thank you. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Give me a heart. Give me an emotion, an emoticon, anything that you want to comment on. If you have any questions for me, if there's any way I can support you, let me know. I'm here for you. I love you all. Peace, love, and imagination.